Jay Timmons is president and CEO of the National Association of Manufacturers. He's a lead pinata out there getting beat up on a daily basis by politicians, and we're thrilled the brave one could join us this morning. I'm going to kill this. Chillicothe?
You got it.
Ohio.
Yep.
You grew up there. It's surrounded by 14 data centers right now. What are the data centers going to do to manufacturing in America?
I think they're going to help supercharge it, Tom. To be honest, look, manufacturing is always in an evolution, right? For decades, we've evolved into different types of jobs requiring different types of skills, and what we're seeing now, and actually you and I have talked about this before, we have 433,000 open jobs in the sector today. That number is going to grow to 2 million by the year 2033. And the reason it's going to grow is because we need people with different skills to help us navigate this new technology evolution.
Give us an example of one skill there.
Well, you're going to...
Don't tell me welders. We know that.
Well, we do need welders and electricians, that's for sure. But programmers, for instance, right? People who can design the programs to help automate certain functions within a facility, within a manufacturing operation. That's an example.
Chillicothe, Ohio. Basically, Tom, equidistant between Cincinnati and Columbus.
Yeah, there's like 47 data centers there.
It's a triangle, and Jay is our second.
It's too much.
Ohio State University.
It's too much.
We're all Ohio today for some reason. Talk to us about just the state of manufacturing in this country as it relates to President Trump's effort to reshore a lot of manufacturing and providing incentives for that. We've seen a lot of non-U.S. companies make big announcements about putting factories and so on in the U.S. Are we seeing that?
Well, just like you're fortunate to have Ohio State folks here on your show, manufacturing is really fortunate to have good policies in place right now. Back in 2017, when President Trump announced his tax plan in front of our board of directors, he said it would be rocket fuel for the industry, and it actually was exactly that. We had record job creation, record investment, record wage growth for the next 3 years. There was a kind of a pause earlier last year as people were waiting to see, as manufacturers waiting to see, are we going to renew those tax reforms? And we did, and you're starting to see a little bit more movement now in terms of investment and job creation. But we have some other challenges, and those challenges are the workforce issues we just talked about. We need some more certainty in the trade area.
Well, that's where I wanted to go. Are we staying in Ohio?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, bonus round. William McKinley did not go to the Ohio State. But if you go from Columbus northeast up to Canton, that was where McKinley was. The president adores the Gilded Age and all about McKinley protectionism as well. We're walking back tariffs right now. What do you hear from your manufacturers that they want? It's not bananas from Brazil that we're not going to grow here. How bad are they getting hammered?
Yeah, so it is a great question, Tom. And I think what you hear mostly from manufacturers, and I'd say you hear this from any business person, right, is they need predictability. They need to understand what the rules of the road are. We know that Donald Trump likes tariffs, to your point. Whether we like them or not is really irrelevant. We know he's going to impose tariffs in every single trade deal that he negotiates or every single trade action that he takes.
Okay, but he's walking it back now. Do you have
some of them?
Do you have in your head, from all your contacts and with your public service, Jay Timmons, do you have an optimal tariff level for President Trump that isn't a 2 to 3% blended tariff?
Well, look, I mean, you want to ask a manufacturer an optimal tariff level is zero for zero, right? Yeah. Because we don't want to add cost to doing business here in the United States. We're going to be able to deal with whatever is presented to us. It will have knock-on effects. It will have knock-on effects on prices, right? But the question is, does it incentivize manufacturers to invest in the United States? And I think that chapter is yet to be written. And I think it's really important when we're looking at USMCA to know that we have a solid trade agreement here in the North American continent that can incentivize more manufacturing here and disincentivize investment in China and Southeast Asia.
Talk to us again, just going back to the labor aspect. Do we have enough skilled labor for the U.S. manufacturing renaissance? Do we need some type of different training, schooling? Because a lot of folks are saying, boy, college is probably not meant for a lot of people. It's so expensive, and it really isn't as needed maybe as we used to think? Maybe trade investments is a better investment in education? How do you guys think about it?
We do not have enough in the labor force. Our Manufacturing Institute, which is led by Carolyn Lee, its president, will tell you that every single month for the last decade or more, we've had somewhere between 300,000 and 500,000 open jobs in the sector. And part of that, frankly, is having parents understand what great opportunities are available in manufacturing and helping their kids understand that they can have a path to success there. The other side of it is those skills, you go back to AI, right? Those skills keep evolving and changing, and we have to keep up. Another issue, just very bluntly, is we need a solid, legal, predictable immigration system in this country. We're working with Congresswoman Maria Salazar on the Dignity Act to be able to create a pathway for legalization for immigrants who are focused on the economic needs of this country. And that will go a long way to help us as well.
But the reality, and Jay Timmons, folks, with his president and CEO of National Association of Manufacturers, just one of the straightest talkers about the headaches out there. Chillicothe, did I pronounce it right?
You got it.
Nailed it. Chillicothe, the 178-year-old paper mill just shut down. That's the arch fear of 80% of our audience.
Yeah.
Some in AI, the tech bro out in Silicon Valley, the fancy people in 3 zip codes. I saw you on Maria earlier today. Maria, me, Paul Sweeney, and others synthesize the angst that I get in my mail every single day in that paper mill where you grew up.
Can I just say what a gut punch that was for me? My grandfather actually worked there. That was how my family entered the middle class, because he came from a farm. He started working at the Mead paper mill back then. That was devastating to me, and it was devastating to so many family and friends that I have back in Chillicothe and Ross County. The good news was, somewhat good news, is you had a full effort to try to find somebody to take over that facility. Senator Bernie Moreno is a hero to me because he was relentless on trying to recruit somebody else to come in. A glove manufacturer came in, does not have as many employees as the paper mill did, but it is something.
Okay, so you're having a beer with President Trump. It doesn't have a beer. That would be President Obama. You're at the White House, Jay Timmons, and you are visceral about this, frankly, like me and the collapsed Eastman Kodak Company. You're visceral about this in Mead paper of years ago. What's your advice to the president to jumpstart and persist labor in America?
So, first and foremost, I give him a huge amount of credit again on the tax policies, because that matters. That allows businesses to not only invest in new plants and equipment, it also allows them to invest in their people and train their people to upskill and future-proof the jobs that are available in manufacturing. You know, I could probably go on for hours about Mead, or the paper mill back in Chillicothe, and what they should or shouldn't have done over the course of decades to modernize that plant. I think most folks there knew that it had a time limit on its ability to continue to produce without massive infusions of cash. And you're not going to get that from the federal government, right? That's not going to happen. So what I think is really important is that we don't leave the people who lost those jobs behind. And that involves training. There's a lot of great grants that come from the Department of Labor or the Department of Education as it once existed, sometimes the Department of Commerce. That flows through the state. And Governor DeWine, I think, actually probably better than most governors, is really focused on getting that money down to communities to help train workers with new skills.
Chillicothe, Ohio, Tom. Next time we go there, we're going to the 7 Miles Smokehouse. Looks really good there.
Fine cuisine.
Yeah, I'm down with that kind of stuff. So, Jay, where's a real area for growth in manufacturing in the U.S. here? If you're a young person coming out and maybe thinking about a trade, what would you suggest to that person?
Well, obviously, if you look at all the numbers, it's going to be in data centers and AI, but that's not where I would tell folks to go. I would tell them to look at traditional manufacturing, because what we're seeing this pent-up optimism and enthusiasm for investing more in manufacturing, whether they're appliances or cars or household items or even textiles here in the United States. You're seeing so many more investments now in all of those sectors. Defense is another area.
Yep.
aircraft. Many of those areas are really desperate, quite frankly, for skilled labor. By the way, these jobs, this is the thing that I think is always a surprise to most folks. Jobs in manufacturing pay more than, on average, more than any other sector of the economy. So you're going into a position that is going to pay you well. Right. It's going to allow you to have a house and build your family. It's good stuff.
We're out of time, but Jake, first of all, I totally agree with you on the manufacturing multiplier. I've been criticized by many guests for that, but it's for you and me, it's hardwired. It's everything we grew up with.
You are right.
I mean, I may be right. I've been told many times I'm wrong. Jay Timmons of Ohio, thank you so much, President, Chief Executive Officer of the National Association of Manufacturers.